Hey, so my name's Jackson, and I'm going to be presenting you today what I read for chapters 3 and 4. The title for chapter 3 was What Common Mistakes Causes Messages to Self-Destruct. So in this chapter, it shows that people tend to move with the most popular course of action. An example for that is in a study in the petrified forest in Arizona, there was a lot of petrified wood being stolen. So they put up signs to try to prevent this from happening. At first, they put up signs that just said, do not steal, and the results were more petrified wood was being stolen. The do not steal sign made the people who stole the petrified wood seem like the majority. So what did they do to fix that? They made a new sign that focused on the people who did not steal, which the majority did not steal. 97% didn't steal. So what happened with that? This caused petrified wood theft to decrease. The thefts decreased because the signs focused on how the majority did not steal the wood. Another example was a public service announcement commercial that was made to increase recycling. And so the commercial focused on the majority of people who did recycle instead of the minority of people who did not recycle. And so the results were an increase of people who recycled. And the reason for that is because the minority felt like they were in the wrong and they wanted to be a part of the majority who did recycle. So the title for chapter 4 is When Persuasion Might Backfire, How Do You Avoid the Magnetic Middle? And so the magnetic middle, picture this, it's shavings attracting towards a magnet, like people attracting to the average things that other people do. Most people tend to do what the majority does, but that doesn't always pay off. Wes Schultz did some research on this, and what he did was he sent people out to read energy use for homeowners in the neighborhood. And they left notes telling the homeowners how their energy use compared to the average in the neighborhood. The notes informed the homeowners if their energy use was above or below the average. So what happened? The people who saw that their energy use was higher than the average decreased, and it was closer to the average of the following month. The people who saw that the energy use was lower than the average increased their energy use closer to the average for the following month. This study was showing that people tend to want to be average, just how both the people using higher energy wanted to be like everyone else, just like the people not using as much energy. The goal of this research was to decrease energy use. And so, how did they fix that problem when people were trying to be average? So, what the researchers did was they added a smiley face to the note on the homeowner's energy use. So, with the people who had energy use above the average, they added a sad face to it. And the homeowners who had energy use below the average, they used a smiley face. And the results were the people who had a higher energy use continued to decrease, continued to lower their energy use closer to the average. But the people whose energy use was lower than the average stayed the same. So they didn't increase to go back. So how do we prevent this error? So how we prevent this is we should convey the message back to the people that is more approved and has a high appraisal to the socially desirable way. That way people want to do the right thing that society says.